Salvete discipuli, we have a real treat. We get to try doing some epigrams. The epigrams are always enjoyable. What I've often told students is that this is first century Twitter or first century X. And you have these short little poetic verses that are meant to often be funny or at least to get your attention. The good news is that they are often pretty funny or pretty insightful. The bad news is they do take some practice reading because the words are going to get mixed up. We have to be very careful about cases and paying attention to words that go together. So let's try some of these together, and I will do these first few with you. As we get into more practice with them, I'll let you try them on your own. But for right now, I'm on page 88 in the book, and I'm going to do this first epigram here with y'all, this one from Marshall. Marshall is a famous epigrammist. And it says, De amico mutabili. Difficilis facilis jucundas acerbus eis idem, nec tecum possum vivere, nec sine. So the title given to this is De amico mutabili. You can see you can translate that on the changeableness of amico. We might say friend, but here, I think we might say friendship or even maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And so it starts with that word difficilis. You can probably translate that. Difficilis is difficult. And then facilis, which means easy or easygoing. So difficult, easygoing. Jucundus, your book gives you a note on that. Pleasant. Acerbus means harsh or disagreeable. And then we have the verb s. S, of course, is you are, and idem means both. You are both. So now the epigram starts to take shape. Difficilis, facilis, jucundus, acerbus. Difficult and easygoing, pleasant and harsh. You are both. Or we might translate this, you are difficult and easygoing. You are pleasant and harsh. And then the next line says, nec tecum possum vivere. Not tecum, not with you, possum, I am able to live. Nec sine. Or I am not able to live tecum with you, nor without you. So here you have a nice line, couple of lines written by Marshall. He's complaining about his girlfriend, saying she can be difficult, but she can also be easygoing. Sometimes she's pleasant to be with, sometimes she is harsh. She is both people. And yet he says, I can't live with you, but I can't live without you either. All right, let's do another one. This one, we have a name. De Chloe, quae septem maritis nupsit, inscripsit tumulus septem scelerata virorum, se fecisse Chloe, quid pote simplicius. So this title given is De Chloe, about Chloe, quae, who septem maritis nupsit, who married septem maritis, 7 husbands. So then this is a good example of a epigram where the words are going to get quite mixed up, because when we start reading it, it doesn't seem to make too much sense. It says inscripsit, she or he inscribed, tumulis septem, and then finally we find a nominative, scelerata, but it is a adjective. So scelerata is our first noun here, or our first nominative, and then the next one is here. So scelerata is modifying Chloe. So we could, and scelerata what your book says wicked. So, wicked Chloe inscripsit, inscribes tumulis. So tumulis is an ablative. It's an ablative of location. So it's wicked Chloe inscribes, tumulis is tomb, so it's on the tombs, septem virorum, the tombs of her 7 men, but here it's husbands, right? On the tombs of her 7 husbands, se fecisse, she did it herself. And then quid pote simplicius, right? What could be simpler? So you can look at that one, and then you can answer the question that goes with number 2 also. You should also answer the question that went with number 1. So one of the questions they ask is, what does she mean by se fecisse? So what meaning does Marshall suggest? I think there's a double meaning, a double entendre a bit in se fecisse, and you can look at that yourself. Okay, then finally, the third epigram, De Cupidine Deo Potenti. This one's not Marshall. This one we think is done by Petronius. So it says, Ecce tacent voces hominum strepitusque viarum, et volucrum cantus turbaeque fida canum, solus ego ex cunctis paveo, somnumque torumque, et sequor imperium, magne cupido tuum. So let's do this one together also. Ecce is look, or this is the word the angels love in the New Testament. Behold, right? Ecce, behold, tacent, they are silent. And what are silent? Well, our first nominative is voces. So voces, the voices are silent. The voices hominum. So it's look or behold, the voices of men and that are silent. But then we have more nouns. Strepitusque. Strepitus is a great word. Your book doesn't define it for you, but I like a racket, the noise. So the noise of the roads, et volucrum cantus, and the cantus, the songs, volucrum. Volucrum is a great word. It's flying things, or here like the birds, right? And the songs of the birds, turbaque fida canum. So now we add the turba, the crowd, but then there's an adjective with it, fida, and the faithful crowd of dogs. So we might translate this, look, the voices of men, the racket of the streets, and the songs of the birds, and the faithful crowd of dogs are silent. Everything around me has gone silent. Solus ego, I alone, ex cunctis, out of everything, out of all things, paveo, dread, I fear. And then we have some accusatives. I fear somnumque torumque. I fear both the sleep. Somnum can mean dream sometimes, sleep or dreams, and the bed. We can see we've picked a good word for bed because we want that alliteration, right? Somnumque torumque. So everything has gone silent around me. And now, out of all these things, only I now fear sleep and the bed. And sequor imperium. And yet sequor is I follow. Imperium here means command. And we can see it's imperium, and then there's an adjective with it, tuum. And I follow, or yet I follow your command, magne cupido, great Cupid. So it seems that this is a couple lines written by a person who he's in love with this girl, and he just fears to go to bed. He wishes he could be with this girl, and yet he doesn't know what's going to happen, right? Does she like him? Does she not like him? Every day is just heartache for him right now. You should answer the question that goes with number 3 and see what you can do with that. Just for some reminders, for Monday, you should answer the questions that are on page 58. And then you should just, coming up is that practicing the language, that's going to be due on that Wednesday, October 9th. All right, bonum fortunam. We'll talk to y'all later.